Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to our channel. My name is Kelly, and you are watching Edit with me. Today, we are going to be taking this adorable family photo from raw to ready. We're also going to be discussing a few inspiration points and how well you carry your stress load. So, I invite you to sit back, get a drink, and edit with me. Welcome back, everybody. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. I hope that your work is getting done, your family is behaving. I hope that your day is peaceful and wonderful. We are going to spend our time together today editing and processing this adorable family. This was taken in the spring in one of my favorite gardens, and this was a maternity session. So we are going to be using a preset today. We're going to be using my old trusty Nomadic number 12. And I want to do just a little note here about presets. And you know, if you've been watching me for any length of time, you know that I really encourage you to do your own presets, not someone else's. You may use someone else's if you want, but I want you to really own it and tweak it and make it your own, okay? So I have gone in here. My favorite is actually number 12, and I have found that I do so many tweaks every single time that I just made a preset myself. So I call it number 12 with Kelly Touch. And that actually saves me so much time. And I want to encourage you to do the same thing, friends, because that's going to speed up your workflow. It's going to add consistency into your images. And it's just an easy way to save yourself a lot of time. So if you love dark and moody images, this may be perfect for you. You would just have to add a little bit of exposure on your subjects, but we're going to take this and work it the other way. I love bright and warm images. So I am going to come in here and I'm going to do quite a bit of work on the color and on the lighting. And while I do that, I want to read you, actually, I have two quotes for you today. I know, right? Who am I? But we're going to be talking about the burdens that you carry and having it not affect who you are in your day-to-day life. So the first quote I want to read to you is, sorry, I just got distracted by their skin tones. Do you guys do that too sometimes? Anyway, the first quote I want to read from you, unfortunately, doesn't have a source, but I've had it saved on Pinterest for a really long time. And it's super short and sweet, but it says, just because someone carries it well doesn't mean it's not heavy. And actually, I had a friend give me a compliment a month and a half ago on that very same thing. We were discussing infertility issues, and I was saying that I had gotten my feelings hurt by a mutual friend, and she was musing, you know, I think the reason that no one notices or realizes how sensitive you are is that you carry your lead weights around like balloons. And poor thing, she thought I would be upset with her for saying that to me. And it's actually quite the opposite. I wear that as a badge of honor. I love that about myself, that I am able to bear burdens and weight and heavy things and make it look easy to others. That is a difficult thing. And I know some of you in your minds might be like, yeah, but isn't that tiring? Isn't that fake? And I want to dive deeper into that today. I want to discuss that with you, friends, because that is a point of trouble, I think, in a lot of our lives. Before I get into that, though, this is all I'm going to do here in Lightroom. I'm going to pull this into Photoshop, and we will keep working here. And while we wait for this to open in Photoshop, I have another quote for you, and it's on the same exact lines, but I just love the way that it's worded. It's by C.S. Lewis, who, if you haven't read anything by him, he is the author of the Narnia Chronicles. He's written tons and tons and tons of other things as well. He writes treatises and Christian works and like essays and short stories and a whole bunch of things. Very wise author. But his quote is, "It's not the load that weighs you down. It's the way you carry it." Think about that, right? Think about putting a ton of bricks into a cart. Your heart, your mind, is the cart in this example. And the cart has an axis with 2 wheels in the middle. I want you to think about how you would put those bricks in that cart to make it the easiest to pull. Okay? Everybody has bricks being our problems. Everybody has them. Some people pile them all in the back and cause their cart to be top heavy or back heavy, and it causes it to drag on the ground. Some people spread it around and find that they are able to move that cart with ease, and yet other people stack them all up on one side or another, and the cart tips over eventually. In this life, you are not going to be able to walk through it without burden. I hate to say that to you, and I'm sorry for it. I have not yet met someone who did not have weight or burdens or heavy hearts at one point or another, or sadness or loss or grief or frustration or anger, okay? We all have that. We all go through it. But it's a matter of how you carry it that's important. And I think in this day and age of everyone sharing their opinions on social media, telling everyone that will listen how they feel about things and what they think about things, I feel like we've lost sight of what our job is on this earth. Now, you may not agree with me, and that is totally, totally, totally fine. But I feel that my job on earth is to make those around me have a better time. Because at the end of the day, we're all just walking each other home. And I want to be the type of person for my family, for my clients, for my friends, for my eventual children. I want to be the kind of person that they want to walk home with. I want to ease their burdens, make them smile, make them feel loved and valued, and not weigh them down with my bricks. It's not being fake. It's having the mindset that I am not necessarily the star of the show 100% of the time. And I'm going to be very honest with you, and I might get some flack for this, and that's okay. We're all entitled to our opinions, and if you want to talk about it, please do so in the comments. I welcome any of your comments, and I read all of them. So if you disagree with me, let's have a conversation about it. But honestly, I'm going to be very real with you here. The cashier at the grocery store does not give a hoot about your politics. Your children don't care if you had a rough session. Your husband doesn't care. Well, that's kind of mean. I mean, your husband usually always cares, but your husband doesn't care that you're struggling with an edit, okay? There are times and places for all of those things. And I think in this everybody listen and look at me world that we're forced to live in with social media and with people's lives being shoved in our faces all the time, I feel like we have lost sight of that. And that's a real shame, because when we're so busy sharing what we think or what we feel or what we like or what upsets us or what makes us angry, we miss out on deeper conversations. Not only that, we show the outside world that we are unable of carrying our burdens properly. I want to challenge you today to think about how you want to be not perceived. That's not what I'm encouraging you here. Think about the person you want to be in your business, in your family, with your dealings. I'm just going to run portraiture on here while we're chatting and let that work its little magic. Think about how you want to be. Do you want to be someone who's known as Debbie Downer? Do you want to be somebody who always unloads their burdens on others? Do you want to be someone who positively impacts your tribe and the people around you? I know I do. So it's very important, friends, how we carry this weight. Everybody has weight. Everybody. But not everybody talks about it. Not everybody feels the need to unburden themselves at every chance. And I want to challenge you today. And I want to tell you, know the time and know the place. Now, I'm going to get really micro here, and I'm going to zoom into when we are dealing with our clients. Okay? You have a job to do. And I'm sorry for saying this, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. That's not why I'm here at all. But your clients do not care if you are late and you're rushing and you're stressed. Your clients are paying you for a job. That's it. Now, they may love you as a person, and I hope that they do. That means that you've got an excellent, excellent rapport with them. But you have a job to do. You are no longer Susie. You are photographer. You are, if you're not a photographer, I'm impressed that you're watching this channel, but you are mom, sister, concierge, whatever your job may be, okay? That's a title that you carry. And it's up to us to carry the weight and fill that role in the way that we always want it to be seen. Now, am I striving for fakeness? No, that's not what I'm asking you to do here at all, friends. But I am asking you for a little bit of perspective. These weights that you carry around with you right now are probably temporary. They're not going to matter in a week. They're not going to matter in 5 years. They probably certainly won't matter on your deathbed. So it doesn't seem to me like it would be worth our effort moaning and groaning and unloading them on anyone that will listen. Now, should you not talk about things that are bothering you? Of course. But I also want to challenge you to carry your weight lightly. Don't talk about things with your clients that you don't want them to feel or think during your session. Don't share things with your session to your spouse when you know he just is worried about how you're doing mentally or what's for dinner, okay? There's an art to carrying your load so that it looks effortless. And then people are going to start asking you, what's your secret? You're going through so much. How in the world are you managing? And you just carry it so beautifully. And you'll be able to say, because I have the perspective that I am not the lead in this story all the time. And I'm going to put pause on that for just a second because I have one more point I want to make before we wrap that up. But I want to show you how I work in these trees to add a little bit of magic. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to click Place Embedded. I have some bokeh overlays that I downloaded for you guys, and I don't usually use them, but this seems like a very good chance to use them. So when you're working with overlays, you want to make sure that your direction makes sense. You want to make sure that everything is going either away from your subjects or in towards your subjects. So I'm just going to play with this, get it right where I want it to be. That looks about good. And I'm going to come in here and change the blend mode to screen. And I'm just going to position it exactly where I want that to be. Okay, I'm going to double place to click it. I'm going to do a quick scan of the edges and make sure that there's no harsh edges anywhere. And then I'm going to go up and grab one more, a little bit of a different one, and do it on this side. I love doing it like this. It adds just a little bit of magic and fun in those trees. I'm going to resize this, bring it over here. All right, let's see what that looks. It's so hard when it's got that black back of the screen. There we go. And I don't love how bright this is. So before I place that, I'm going to pull it down a bit. Double click to place, do a quick scan of my edges, make sure that there's nothing harsh. Awesome. Okay. Flatten that down and voila. I am going to do a little bit more sharpening on the center of my image. Then I'm going to paint a little bit of color on here. And then we will call this one done and dusted, friends. But anyway, back to our conversation, right? We as business owners, as moms, as wives, as sisters, as friends, we're called to carry a lot of weight in this world. And my question to you is, are you going to let your blocks stack up in the back of your wagon and make your life feel kiltered? Are you going to dump your blocks at every chance you get on whoever's around you? Are you going to let the weight ruin your relationships and your life and your day? No. And when we put it like that, it sounds ridiculous, right? But we do that all the time. We are unable to pull ourselves, and I don't know about you, but this happens to me all the time. We are unable to pull ourselves out of the temporary and think about the bigger picture. All right, I am done in Photoshop. We're going to pull it back into Lightroom, and we're going to check on it and see how it's doing. So I want to challenge you to really think about how you're handling situations, and I want to challenge you to unburden yourself. Figure out a way to reappropriate your load, whatever you need to do, if that's self-care time, if that's talking with a therapist or a spouse, whatever you need to do. I want to challenge you to figure out how to distribute your load so that you carry it beautifully. All right, we're going to look at the before and after. Here's the before. There's the after. So much dreamier, right? Oh, I just love that. All right. I'm going to call that one done and dusted, everybody. I thank you for listening. I know today's topic was heavy, but I felt like it needed to be said. As always, please know that you are loved. You are worthy. You, my dear friend, are valuable, and the world needs your lens. Take care of yourselves, spread joy, and make everyone else's walk a little lighter this week. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.